People of Ghana, it's your Nigerian get pleasure bringing you political news in our channel Ghanatube. A lot has really been happening in Ghana and so many people have come out to address it. Please watch.
Starting from the legislature, because President Akufo-Addo on Friday, as he delivers his final State of the Nation address. Double Crosby Annan is following this story for us. He's joined us with more. Crosby, do we have a sense of whether actual parliamentary business will take place today?
Well, Mawina, unfortunately, we cannot tell whether actual parliamentary business will happen today. But the expectation or the anticipation is that Parliament will continue with its the finance minister presents the mini budgets. Now, you know that on 20th December, before the Speaker of Parliament adjourned sitting to today, it was as a result of the inability of the finance minister to present the mini budgets. Now, the key issues were that the minority side of the House, the NDC side of the House, they were not having any agreement with the NPP side to allow the NPP, if you like, present other bills. For instance, the Free Senior High School bill for Parliament to take care of other things that the NPP side thought was important. I'm talking about the approval of judges, for instance. There's also the bit about some exemptions, tax exemptions to some 1D1F companies. The minority would not have any of that. All they wanted was that the mini budget be presented. Now, because of that contention between the two sides of the House, the Speaker had to adjourn today. We're hoping that the mini budget will be presented. Indeed, it has been the expectations of members of Parliament that I've spoken with that it will be presented and that other parliamentary business will continue subsequent to what they were not able to take care of on the 20th of December. If you can see in Parliament right now, some members of Parliament have begun trooping in. We can see the Member of Parliament for Nsaomaduaji, who is also the MP-elect for the area, Frank Anodompre, also in Parliament there, as well as some other leading members of both the NPP and the NDC, if you like, caucusing amongst themselves. So at the moment, we're waiting for the Speaker of Parliament. When he arrives, he would call for a leadership meeting, conclave, before sitting will itself start. Now, when that is done, then we'll have a clear indication whether or not the mini budget will be presented today or not. And already the minority side of the House, I'm talking about the NDC, they have stated that it will not be a problem, although there are a few concerns they have. It will not be a problem if the mini budget is not presented before the inauguration of the president-elect. They have noticed that if it does not happen, they don't mind doing it any day after the 7th of January this year. It could be done by the vice president-elect. I'm talking about Professor J. Nano Pokrajman, who will also be sworn in. He could present the mini budget if the finance minister still refuses or is unable to present the mini budget, as we hope is done today.
And Crosby, any chance you've seen the order paper for today? Because we know one of the many outstanding issues as well is tax exemptions, which the NPP administration has been seeking to push through in Parliament for quite a while. There's been lots of resistance. Is there an indication that that could come up again today?
Just like you rightly mentioned, Derek, the tax exemptions bill, if you like, or conversations on the tax exemptions, there's been one of the key elements why the mini budget has not been presented. We have not cited the order paper yet, and it is a little bit unusual because by now it should be ready. Now, you know that the mini budget was not presented, so the expectations is that part of that could be used to run Parliament. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to communicate with you. The mini budget should have been presented to make up operations for this year, because we know that the 2024 budget expired with the year 2024. Now we're in 2025. We do not have a budget we're using to run the country. Parliament may be affected by this until money is made available for the expenditure of Parliament and other institutions in the country. So we hope that the mini budget is presented. On the order paper, we have not seen the order paper yet, but we anticipate that conversations concerning tax exemptions, the approval of Supreme Court judges, and other critical elements that the MPP want to push through may or may not happen for the mini budget to be presented.
Crosby, you've been interacting with some members of parliament on their expectation. What have they been telling you?
Well, they expect that the mini budget is presented. If it is not presented, they expect that Parliament continues with its regular business of the day. For the NDC, I spoke with the Member of Parliament for Aswasi constituency. They are not very much bothered because the mini budget could be presented any day after the 7th of January. So they will make room for all the happenings before the 7th of January. For the NPP, well, they're hoping that it is also presented and that there be some agreements reached between the majority side of the House and the minority side of the House as well.
Business for the week, and then we look at what is on the table, then clearly we're able to have conduct cabinet business. I mean, we are hoping that most of the issues that were on the table before could be presented in relation to the approval of charges, in terms of the budget appropriation that we need to approve, in terms of the school free SHS build out, and all those are on the build. And we are hoping that the business committee will present the business for the week, and then clearly we look at what it is. So I expect that business should run smoothly. Not going to antagonize. Everything is going to. At this point, we need to think about how Ghana is going to go forward. We need to think about how we're going to promote all activities to ensure that Ghanaians do not have any setback from this transition. So clearly, I am expecting that the two sides, we are going to work together to ensure things are done appropriately.
Well, I don't expect much. I mean, except to say that I know that we are supposed to have what we normally call committee of the whole, and I hope probably maybe the finance minister will present his decision to come to the House. But if he doesn't come, I don't think there's much to be lost, because I mean, after 7th, all these things can be sorted out. So I don't expect much, aside tomorrow the State of the Nation by the President, and I also believe that the President's State of the Nation may probably be very brief if he wants to summarize it, and if he has to account for the whole of the 8 years that he's done, that may take us a little longer. But I hope that it will be, today and tomorrow will not be any especially eventful. My prayer is that we'll end this parliament well, so that we can start a new one.
Will your side be open to reaching a consensus for the mini budget to be presented, that is if the finance minister wants that?
Well, I mean, the letter haven't called for what they call a caucus meeting to discuss that, so I'll not be able to tell. It's my hope that if the finance minister is willing to come and do it, one of this will allow him to do it. But we haven't discussed that, so.
And that's Asawasa Member of Parliament, Muntaka Mohammed Mubarak, I should say, speaking to my colleague Noble Crosby. And Crosby is going to stay with us because he's keeping a close eye on another story for us this afternoon, which has to do